Hi, everybody. I'm Georgia, compulsive overeater. I want to, first of all, thank you. Um, I already lost Stephanie. And thanks to the moderator and the timer and all of you who are here just doing service by being here. And I really appreciate being asked to share this morning. And I'm so grateful to be abstinent. My abstinent date is August 7th, 2021. And I write down my 3 meals off the gray sheet, commit those to my sponsor, and I don't eat between those meals no matter what. And for today, God and abstinence are the most important things to me without exception. So how it was. I grew up in North Dakota, North Dakota farm girl, and I started off with, of course, 7 meals a day and lots of helping in the kitchen. And even though I wasn't really so much overweight growing up, I had a lot of other issues that led to my compulsive overeating. And actually, my first memory of compulsive overeating was when I was about 5 and got in the Lazy Susan and demolished the entire sweet thing that my mom had made. And, I didn't know it at that time, but I got in trouble. Anyway, in my mind, I grew up with 3 older brothers, and then 5 years later, a younger sister came along, and so I grew up with a lot of feelings of never being good enough. I was like worthless. I was a tomboy. I just didn't fit in. And then so to compensate for those low feelings of self-worth, I ate. I ate a lot, all the time, all day long. I was really an active person, so my weight didn't really start going up until I got to college, and then it increased rapidly. And in spite of, um, I've lost my thought there, but um, I spent my entire life eating compulsively, trying to find that perfect band-aid to cover the pain I felt, and not being worthy, not being good enough, always making mistakes. I struggled in school. I'm a very kinesthetic learner, so I didn't learn well the way teachers taught. And um, I did a lot of damage to my body because I would, I tried every diet along the way. And for 35 years, you name the diet, I tried it. So what happened? After years of feeling miserable and sick, crabby, my thighs rubbing together until I had open sores, high blood pressure, high triglycerides. I had candida. I was full of inflammation. I was a total and utter mess. And on June 26, 2011, I accidentally walked into my first gray sheet meeting. I thought it was an OA meeting. So I listened to the meeting and I heard a lot of things about weighing and measuring, and I just thought, no way. I had done that so many times. But I hesitantly agreed when one of my first sponsor actually came to me after the meeting and asked if I'd want to give it a try. And so I said, okay, I guess I will. I was so broken and desperate that I was willing to do anything. And so I stayed abstinent for 4 months, and I lost I lost 60 pounds. And I decided, man, this is great. I feel great. I have my life back. And I figured I could do it on my own. That was the beginning of my 10 years of yo-yo day ones. I rode that yo-yo train for 10 years. I mean, I had day one after day one. I quit counting after about 25 day ones. And on December 6th, of that year, I turned 60. And on December 12th, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I kept my abstinence throughout that breast cancer, all the treatment and the surgery for 3.5 months. And then um, we had a family celebration, went out to dinner, and someone ordered something we don't eat, and I took a bite. I figured I earned that, right? So that was the beginning of that yo, 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 up and down. And this cunning and baffling disease, which is like a drug, it took me to the edge of the pit of self-pity over and over and over again. And it took me right into the pit. But I am so grateful that because of all the tools, because of the program we work, and because of the fellowship, seeing all of you, because I still kept going to meetings. I didn't just quit everything. You know, I knew that I had to do it. I had nothing else. I had nowhere else to go. And I really didn't want to be 206 pounds again. And so I kept coming back, kept going to meetings, kept having day ones after day one after day one. And the miracle finally did happen 4 years ago, Thursday. But the first thing I needed to do was become willing and surrender. And until I was willing to surrender it all and give it to my higher power, whom I call God, I would be right back in that pit over and over again. So how it is today? As you know, on August 7th, I did it again. And so when I surrendered, I had the freedom and peace and serenity. I made it to that. It's like I got to my goal, but not really. It isn't my goal because it's an everyday thing. Every single day, I have to be willing to surrender and give it all to my higher power because I can't. I have no power to do that on my own. I learned that through those 10 years and 30 before that. So if I don't surrender to God every single morning when my feet hit the ground, I know that I will take a bite again. But for today, I'm on solid ground. I'm on solid, abstinent ground because I work this program. I surrender every single day. And sometimes I have to do it multiple times throughout the day. Because if any emotion or feeling comes up, it can send me off so easily. And so I'm so grateful that right now I'm in a place where I'm reminded of that and I'm able to stop. So I was diagnosed 3 months ago with breast cancer again. And it sent me into a real tailspin because I had anger, I had fear, I had all of those emotions that have always dragged me right into that pit of self-pity and into the food every single time. And thankfully, that horrible time lasted maybe 12 to 24 hours, but it was minutes because I honestly, when I left the doctor's office, after I heard that I have it again, and I had so much resentment because I don't get it because I eat so healthy and I'm active, I take good care of my body. So why? Well, I don't know, but I turned it over to my higher power. I gave it to my higher power. I just said, God, I can't do this. Why is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. And I actually had the thoughts of going and getting something that we don't do and going to my daughters and just screw it. I really did. But it was seconds. And the only reason I know that I didn't do that is because the second I had that thought, my next thought was, God, take it. I can't do it. I cannot control this feeling. And he did. My higher power took care of me again. And throughout this whole last 3 months, I've been completely filling myself with meetings. Some of you on here know I've been to a meeting every day that I can. And so it was a wake up call again, because I was kind of getting slack with that, because some things are more important than meetings to me, like pickleball, which is crazy. Right. But that's a little bit of slippage. But for today, the most important thing to me is this program and the power I get from all of you, and working the steps and being given the gift of the willingness to surrender and give up my power. I can't do it. God can. So I let him. Um, so I work the program diligently now, and I completely rely on God and the fellowship of this program. Um, I didn't take a bite. I made it past that first 12 to 24-hour period of time, and I'm still abstinent. I'm still grateful. I'm still experiencing that amazing freedom and peace and total joy beyond my wildest dreams. You know, to trade, to go back, I don't ever want to be there again. And I'm really grateful that I have my memory, because I remember how I felt. I remember being having sores on my legs. I remember being miserable and hating myself, and you know, trying on 500 outfits before I wanted to step out into public, and just so much awfulness that isn't there anymore. I have freedom. I totally love the person I am, and I'm so grateful that I've been blessed with healing. I'm, as of this moment, I'm cancer free. They got all the cancer, and I'm just, my life is so good right now. Um, I just don't want to ever go back. And I'm so, so grateful that I walked into that room accidentally a long time ago. 13 years. Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm going to leave you all. I know I'm a little early. I hope that's okay. I don't know how much time I have left, but okay. With these words that I wrote through this last journey of mine, and they give me positive spiritual movement, and they remind all of us of how valuable our precious tool bags of this program are. Unbelievable. So when life falls apart and when panic is a must, surrender, let go, and replace fear with trust. Many years are on the yo-yo train, resentment and endless self-pity. No end until I pause and replace dishonesty with honesty. Angry and filled with resentment, before pause, doing the fitful dance, I began to listen, and I replace resentment with acceptance. And oh my goodness, the why me attitude. Then I remember and replace self-pity with gratitude. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for walking this journey with me. I love you all.